So it's now Thomas, David Jamieson down at Ramsey Boxing. How are you doing today?
Well, how's yourself?
Aye, not too bad, not too bad. How was your sparring? Obviously you just in with Boris.
Yeah, in with Boris, Darren Tarr and Ross Flockhart. A mix of weights, a mix of styles, fresh mans every round. Yep, great, absolutely superb work.
Yeah, sort of the practice you need when you're going into the
That's exactly it, yep. A mix of styles, Boris, he's the heaviest of the lot, then you get Darren Tarr and Ross is a bit lighter, but it's good to mix the speed and the movement with the bigger guys with the sort of more of physicality and the power. Yeah, a good mix.
Obviously you were in Ultimate Boxer recently. I think I was chatting to you before, but I think it's a pretty late call up for yourself. How did the opportunity sort of come about?
It was that, we get this sort of call 2 weeks out sort of thing. We get the word through about possibly going in as a last minute reserve. So obviously we started getting ready, started trying to get the weight off, great opportunity, couldn't pass it up. And then a week out from the tournament we get the call, and it was Kent Copeland was out, he got his licence revoked for competing in Bellator MMA, and just like that we were in the tournament. So yeah, listen, no negatives about it, it was a phenomenal experience, a taste of the big time. And it puts a fire in your belly, you're back in the gym and you're working again.
Yeah, still there, but tournament, how did you find it in general?
Just the whole experience from start to finish. Going down on the Thursday, the weigh-in, it was a bigger weigh-in than I've ever been used to. Into the 365 casino, I think it was. All the media scrum, met with Paulie Malignaggi, so right off the bat it was a phenomenal experience. And I just promised myself going down, you could be getting stressed out, you know, I says I'm not going to do this, I'm just going to go down here and enjoy every minute I can, soak it all in, and I did that. I was happy, I proved to myself I can do that. Yeah.
How did you find making weight? Because I imagine that was probably not the easiest.
The weight thing, we're usually quite good, myself and Jerry, we're always, you know, in the gym working, my diet's good as well and things like that, and my job's physical. So we never really struggled with weight, but this time, because I was starting my training camp for the 6th of September, so that was me starting the beginning of my sort of 10-week training camp, and 2 weeks into that we get told that we had the opportunity with Ultimate Boxer. So obviously your training camp was taken from 10 weeks to sort of 3 weeks if you like. So we did have a bit of weight to lose, stuff that we don't usually do. No, it's not my style to be cutting weight like that, water load and all that sort of stuff. But look, we proved ourselves, we made the weight, we made 91, which we had a day before, so we fueled up and we went in, we put on a good performance. Yeah. So no, it was a great experience. Yeah. Great.
Obviously started off well as well, got to the quarterfinals.
Not bad, aye, yeah, well that was the thing, we've said before, we're prize fighters, you're fighting for money. That was a big incentive. I'm getting married next year on the 18th of September, so the further in the tournament you went, the more your money went up, so that was a big incentive to help pay for my wedding. Yeah.
How was it, sort of, it's obviously going back to sort of the amateur style with the 3 rounds rather than...
I know, and that's the thing, people had said this because I had a good amateur career, it's about 50 amateur fights and things like that, Scottish titles, Western District title, but I never had that amateur style. I was a notoriously slow starter, so I would almost more often than not always lose the first round and then start coming on stronger in the second and the third. So technically it shouldn't have suited me, but I don't know, I think just the frame of mind I'm in now, there's no warming up and things, you need to be able to just turn it on, and I could do that, so it suited me. Yeah. And obviously the fact that I was restricted with my training camp, I wasn't as fit as what I would have liked to have been, so the shorter distance was ideal. Yeah.
Did you find sort of that affecting at all in the second fight, or?
I think that was, it's a funny thing, I've not fought twice in the same day since the intermediates at the Scottish years ago, and I was trying to think back to how you cope with that, but I won my quarter final and went back to the changing rooms, and I remember Steve Bunce interviewing me and he says, right Dave, what are you going to do here? You've obviously got 20 minutes, 25 minutes in between fights, what's your plan? And I just says, well, to be honest with you Steve, I'm probably just going to go into the changing room, put a towel over my head, stay warm and have a couple of Jaffa cakes. And that's honestly just what I did. Some carbohydrate into the system, keep warm and just go back out and just same mindset, just right into it.
So most people are on the sweeties, but you're a Jaffa cake man.
Jaffa cakes or jelly babies, listen, that's the secret, absolutely, yeah.
Obviously Michael Lowell was your semi-final opponent. Did drop you in that, and
he did that.
Obviously makes a big difference, especially when there's only the 3 rounds.
Of course. If you lose, what we always used to say in the amateurs in the 3-round distance, if you lose the first round, you more often than not lose the fight. You're chasing then. So if you get a guy that's content to work in the back foot and just stick to his boxing and you can't draw him into a fight, he wins the first round and then all of a sudden you're chasing it and he's just picking you off and picking you off.
Yeah. He obviously went on to win the tournament as well, so...
Listen, we met Mikel in the hotel afterwards, can't speak highly enough of him, an absolute gentleman, a lovely guy, great athlete as well, obviously a very hard puncher, fit guy, everybody was all sort of what ifs and buts and things like that, and listen, there's no shame in losing to a guy like that. He was a cracking fighter and I reckon he'll go on to do very well.
Yeah. Any regrets at all when you look back on it at all?
None at all, absolutely none at all. It was just a phenomenal weekend. Myself, my coach Jerry Higgins, my dad, my fiance and my 2 best friends went down, so it was just a small team. We went down and we just had the best weekend ever. It was phenomenal, great experience. As I say, a taste of the big time, so it just makes you want to push on and get back to that sort of level.
Was that the first time you've been sort of that much?
That show, yeah. Apart from you're making your way in the pros, fighting in hotels, fighting in leisure centres, things like that. But that was, I think it was a 5,000 crowd in attendance, 10,000. So that's the biggest crowd I've ever fought in front of at this stage in my career.
It's obviously quite a risk as well. That obviously sometimes the loss can. Some people look into it maybe too much.
Yeah, you know, that was the sort of the Mayweather era. They always got to go and this undefeated thing. And what I think, what Floyd Mayweather was tremendous, but that's what he brought with him. It was the whole undefeated thing, and I think for a few years there, everybody got caught up in this undefeated. That was the be all and end all. Look, anybody that knows their boxing knows that the true test of any fighter is to take a loss. How are you in the face of adversity and how you can come back. It's easy to be the man when you are the man, but see when you've taken that defeat, can you come back? This is why it's so interesting with Anthony Joshua. You need to see what a fighter's made of. You need to see him bouncing back. When you're flying high, it's the easiest thing in the world. So, myself, or a couple of the guys like the likes of Boris and things like that, we're not scared to take losses. We've been beat, countless times in the amateurs and things like that. You take a loss, you bounce back, you come on. We're not here to, big David Jamieson, 14-0, and he's fought bin men from Lithuania. That's not what we're here to do.
Yeah.
You're here to go in and test yourself against the best. So no negatives at all.
Just maybe a bit longer next time for
if they could give me a call a couple of weeks before, that would be better. Yeah. Just a wee bit more notice. But no, great weekend, great experience.
Money going away to the wedding as well, you were saying?
The wedding, 18th of September next year, Straven Hotel, yeah. Michaela Miko, the love of my life. She'll kill me for that.
Obviously first time I'm speaking to you, so I'm going to go over a bit about sort of how you got into boxing originally.
Yeah. Started back, I was sort of 15, 16. We got a free sort of South Lanarkshire Council gym pass from the school. Myself and my pal just started going up to the gym after school, messing about, throwing weights about, stuff like that, just as an after school, something to do. Before you know it, weeks turned into months, month turned into a year, you were getting a bit fitter and things like that. Started going to an MMA circuit class. That was the big thing at the time. It was UFC, that was, well, it still is the fastest growing sport, whatever. So we're going to the MMA and was thoroughly enjoying that. But I've always had big set of legs, so I wasn't that good with my feet. I was always better with my hands. And the guy in the class, John Jamieson, no relation to myself, just the same name, he sent me on to a lad called Billy Leach, quality guy. He ran a boxing circuit class in John Wright's in East Kilbride. He took us on, took me under his wing, saw something in me, and he said, do you fancy trying boxing? I says, well, no, absolutely. He sent me to Blantyre Miners Welfare, and in there it was Tam Slavin, Tam Campbell, John McDermott. They took me under their wing, trained me in there for 8 years, couple of Scottish titles, Western District title, and then we moved on to Priestfield Boxing Club in Blantyre, which was again Tam Slavin, Tam Campbell, and the main man there, Jerry Higgins. We were down there for another 2-3 years, and then the decision to turn pro came around, and we took it, and we've not looked back since.
I was going to say, what was the reason sort of behind going pro?
Started getting for turning pro.
Yeah.
I've always had this sort of come forward, moving my head, perpetual motion. I've always had that style. That's what I was saying. I didn't always have the best amateur style, if you like. So I did have that professional style, if you like. I knew I was going to. Everybody knew I was going to excel more in the pros than I was in the amateurs. I was 20, 21, and it's all the Mike Tyson 20, 21 thing. You think, oh, I need to turn pro, time's getting away here. All the guys behind us, great advice. No, look, you're not ready yet. A couple more years in the amateurs, find your feet and things like that. And what I found as I got older there, it wasn't so much anything to do with the experience and the fighting and things like that. It was more life experience that you found in those years between 21, 25, 26. You lose the ego. You know, oh, this guy's a puncher, you need to box in the back foot, whereas your approach would have been, oh well, I'm a puncher, so I'll meet him head to head. You get away from that and you started then listening. Best advice I've ever had was from Tam Campbell, one of my coaches, and he says, you get 2 of them and 1 of them, so listen twice as much as you speak. And I just started taking people's advice on, actually implementing it, and that's how you improve as a fighter.
I'm going to say, like, even in Scotland, I'd say, like, quite a lot of guys are going pro at sort of 18 and 19.
It seems the done thing now, aye. Yeah. Scottish boxing's booming. Yeah. Absolutely booming.
But you're very glad that you sort of didn't do that, make that decision?
I think, it might seem the cool thing to do, the in thing to do, like, oh, turning pro, you've got the glitz, the glam, whatever. You need that good solid foundation. It's fine your first few fights, your journeyman. These guys are tough, don't no disrespect, these guys are tough, but you're meant to be beating them. You're meant to be beating them in no spectacular fashion, but look good doing so. And you'll get away with that in experience up until a point, but eventually you're going to come unstuck. You need that good solid grounding that the amateurs gives you. Yeah. And it teaches you to be a man, it teaches you to deal with it, the highs and the lows, the wins and the losses, gracious in victory, gracious in defeat, yeah. And that's what you get from years in the amateurs. Yeah. So,
have you found it since turning pro? How do you find the sort of adjustments, like even like with the lifestyle side?
It's a strange one. Myself and Jerry we talk about this regularly, and as strange as it sounds to somebody like an onlooker who's maybe not from a boxing background or something, it is totally different. It's the strangest thing. You can spar all the rounds you want, you can box all the rounds you want in the amateurs. It's a totally different game when you get in there and the bell rings a pro. I don't know if it's the smaller gloves, I don't know if it's the style. You can really hurt people in there. That was the thing you always missed in the amateurs. I'm not sure it's the biggest puncher, but at our weight, anybody can punch. And with the injection moulded foam amateur gloves, you really need to be on your game to hit somebody bum and knock them clean out. With these small gloves, you can see the tide of a fight turning with just being careful and picking one shot. One shot will change a fight there and then. And as much as that's a great feeling to have the first time you put on the gloves, I think you need to have in the back of your mind that he's also got that advantage as well, so it makes you a bit more cautious, you know. So.
Have you found sort of, I think some people maybe find the nutrition side of it as well a bit of a shock? Have you found that sort of easy?
Well, I think for years I've always trained like a professional. I've always been doing my road work, trying to train twice a day. My diet, educating myself on the diet side of things. I did my HND in fitness, health and exercise, not to pursue a career, genuinely just to help me. I say to pursue a career, not to become a PE teacher, but to further me, but to help me in the boxing side of things, get genned up on the nutrition, get genned up on the train smarter, not harder sort of thing. And it's definitely stood me in good stead.
Obviously talking about juggling the job there, how did you find it sort of?
Jerry will tell you, I know where you're going with this. It's honestly, as you get a bit older and things like that, you do realise, I'm only 27, I'm still a pup, but you cannot do the things at 27 that you used to do at 21. Your body does not recover the same. As I say, my job's, I work construction, very physical. Your body's in bits at times. Working long hours, you're up at 5 in the morning, you're out the house for 5:30, 5:45, and then we're here doing an interview at 8 o'clock in a gym, and then you're up the road getting your dinner and you're back to bed. That's it. And you get up and you do it all again. So it is, look, I mean, the dream is to secure enough sponsors that you're breaking at your fringe top 10 and you can take the time off your work or dedicate yourself 100% to it. You can get your road work in the morning, you can get your rest, you can sort your nutrition. What we find more often than not is that it's not having that time to do the training, it's having that time to get the rest. The rest is honestly just as important as the work you put in. So.
And you're obviously sparring a couple of times this week as well, so that's
yeah, wear and tear on the body, that touches exactly, you've hit the nail on the head, that's exactly what I'm getting at. Like, we're boxers, we're tough guys, it's all that stuff. No, look, the body, this game's designed to break you. The body breaks down and you do need the time to get the proper nutrition in to heal the body, and then you're ready to go again. But when you're up and you're out at work at 6 o'clock in the morning and you're digging and picking or whatever, it's, you know, you don't get that time. So,
nothing a few Jaffa cakes on.
Anybody that wants to sponsor you, listening? Yeah, Jaffa cakes, get on to us, get on to us. I've got the ginger here as well.
So mine brew as well.
There you are, listen, where have you been?
Marketing.
Aye, yeah.
You're obviously scheduled to fight next month.
6th of September we're back out, yeah, so 4 weeks on Friday, yeah, in the Bells Hill Hilton.
If anybody's looking for tickets for that, what's the best way to
contact myself? Facebook, Instagram, mobile phone, whatever, yeah, myself, or if you know my fiancée Michaela, she deals with a lot of the ticket sides and lets me just get into the training, so it's ideal. Yeah.
What's your sort of aim in the next year? Because it's been roughly sort of a year since you've been...
It'll be a year to the day, really, from the 6th of September.
Shoot 7 fights for a year.
Well, this will be that. Yep, good going. Ambitions, say, they've always said, I started boxing relatively late, sort of 15, 16, so I've got no misconceptions about how far I can go. It's not, oh, I'm going to be a world title, I'm going to be this and that. My boyhood dream's always been to win a British title and defend it outright, and defend it 3 times and win it outright. And if I can be sitting at 40 with a Lonsdale belt on my mantelpiece, I'll be a happy man. So, fighting the 6th of September, try and get another 2 in before the end of the year, and hopefully at the start of next year we're sitting with a couple of sponsors in place, fringe top 10, and we can, at the start of 2020, we can really have a good go at breaking into the top 10 and taking a run at a title. That's where we're looking to be.
Yeah. It's quite a competitive division, your division as well.
It's one of them, you know, domestically and round the world. Cruiserweight is a cracking division. I think what people are seeing, the heavyweights are booming just now because the Deontay Wilders, your Tyson Furies, all that stuff. But for years the cruiserweights fell away. But what people are seeing now is you've got big, strong, physical guys who are also athletic. We're all cutting weight, so you're doing your road work, you're fit. And at 14 stone 4, it does not matter. You're big enough. You hit somebody in the chin, you're going to go. So no, it's absolutely booming. It's a great division to be part of. As I say, hopefully, but starting next year, we're breaking into the top 10 and we can start mixing it. Your likes, your Craig Glovers, your Chris Billham Smiths, your Reactpour. Everybody in that top 10's.
Luke Watkins, my Askins, all these type of guys.
That's that.
Fights there, not
so the big fights are there, and as you touched on earlier on about like taking the loss in the tournament and things. We're not here to pad a record out. If we get the shouts at the right times and I've got the right experience under my belt and plenty of time, we'll take these big fights on. We'll go to London, we'll go to the big arenas. That's what we're in the game to do. So.
I'm going to say obviously, especially in the cruiser one with like Watkins and Chamberlain as well, obviously picking up losses, but like
there you go. Aye, this is the game. You need to be. It can't be all sunshine and rainbows, as Jerry says. I think it was out of Rocky, but it's maybe not a Jerry Higgins original, is it? But no, look, do you know what I mean? The main thing at the end of the day, it isn't a game. As I say, there is the negative side of boxing that everybody's well aware of and things. So you do need to take it seriously. But you just enjoy it, and as long as you're not getting really hurt or anything like that, you can press on.
Obviously, domestically, you've got the likes of like Jay and stuff that are.
So
he obviously has a belt at Scottish.
Yes, and yeah, Jay's a good pal. We got lots of rounds and sparring and things like that. But Jay has a cruiserweight title. Can Jay make cruiserweight to fight me for it? I'm not a heavyweight. I'm a 14 stone fighter at 6'2". I'm not 6'5" and 18.5 stone. So I'm not interested in a Scottish heavyweight title. I'm interested in a Scottish cruiserweight title. And if it can be made at 14 stone 4, absolutely. Yeah. It's a belt that I'm wanting to pick up. Because that's a springboard into your top 10 to push on.
I was going to say that puts, as well as the Celtic one, I think puts you in the top 15 in the country.
Yeah, the BUI, yeah. Well, obviously there was a promoter, Paul Graham. He's got connections in Ireland. Actually, box was it my third fight in Belfast? So I boxed in Belfast already. Great fans over in Belfast. It's a fighting city. As soon as you come out of the ring, you know, everybody's straight over, couldn't be more complimentary, things like that. I'd love to go back over and box in Ireland, and if I know there's a couple of cruiserweights on the go at the moment, like Conor Cook and things like that, and there was talking maybe a BUI Celtic title fight against Conor Cook would bite somebody's hand off for the likes of that. I'd go over to Ireland, no bother.
Like I said, the thing with the BUI one is that you have to face someone Irish for that. So you don't.
Is that the way that constitutes? Well, there you go,
so
ideal.
BUI is Wales on 1 8-rounder.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, no, listen. Yeah, well, that's another possible route. Yeah. But yeah, as I say, look, we took on the Ultimate Boxer with sort of 2 weeks' notice. If this is what we're here to do, you know, you're a fighter. We've been doing it. Realistically, I've been doing this for 11, 12 years. So even though I only had 2 weeks' notice, you've still been doing it for 12. No, you know what to do. You know what to do when you get in there and the bell rings and stuff. So.
Yeah. Obviously got on the shirt, the sponsor as well.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Jim Swarbrick from Heritage Roofing and Rough Casting, and of course my promoter Paul Graham. He's the man behind the scenes making it all happen. So yeah.
That obviously goes towards a lot of stuff like obviously you're travelling from East Kilbride to
of course
Johnson and stuff. And
yeah, that's it, exactly. You're out and about, you're putting the miles in, things like that, and it comes down to, again, if you get a big opportunity taking time off of work and things like that, it makes it possible. We've all got mortgages to pay, unfortunately, so
if somebody was looking to sponsor you, sort of touched on it earlier, but what's the ways to
again, no, listen, all comers, absolutely, be honoured if anybody was to get in touch. Contact myself, I'm on social media, David Jamieson, on Facebook, Instagram, you'll get me on all social media, but yeah, any help would be much appreciated, definitely. Good. And I've got big shoulders, so I've got a big t-shirt so I can get lots of logos on it.
Big shorts.
That's it, big shorts, absolutely. The shorts can get bigger. Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, listen, thanks for your time and best of luck in your fight if I don't catch you before.
Thank you very much, much appreciated.